press conference ahead of the big Soweto Derby. Kaizer Chiefs up against Orlando Pirates. You have just heard from the Pirates camp and what their plans are ahead of kickoff on Saturday. It is now time to hear from Amakosi. And as they were coming up, there's a bit of a murmur around Multi-Choice City, because it does seem that everywhere you go, Itu and Coach Cavin, Kaizer Chiefs fans are there, and they weren't there last night. Just take us through that particular experience, even though you did manage to get the 3 points.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Lwazi. No, they weren't there last night, but for sure, with the team we have that works behind us, they made sure that we feel that. We felt that support even though we weren't there. And that's what gave the players a lot more, because the build-up to the stadium empty was all driven by the people that work for Kaizer Chiefs behind the scenes. And that we have to be grateful for, because when we went on that pitch, we really played as if it was 90,000 people.
Yeah, I mean, we're having a chat before we started today's proceedings about how just maybe towards the end, it did make life a little difficult for yourself from 2-0 down to then have to really battle to hold on to win 3-2. That kind of performance and result ahead of such a big game, what significance does it have?
It has a big significance, but at the same time, there's moments in football that we have to manage as coaches and technical team, and that is one of the moments that we look back on now and say we have to manage it a little bit better, and if we're able to manage that mentality a lot better, then for sure the team will go out there on Saturday and play better.
And you're speaking about the team, Coach, and we can't forget that this is your first derby in charge, and you'll be sitting in that particular tunnel, walking through that tunnel, sitting pitch side as well, looking to make sure that this mini tradition that has developed in recent times, where Chiefs get the better of Pirates, does continue. How do you do that from a team perspective? How do you do that from a squad perspective? And I guess the message that you give to each individual, including some senior like Itu needs to you, in making sure that at the very least 3 points is in the bag come 90 minutes.
Yeah, I think I've been watching this derby since I was 11 years old. So going to a derby is one thing, but coaching my first derby this week, it's just another game for me. It's about making sure that our players go on the pitch well prepared mentally and physically, and like the coach said earlier on, you want your supporters to come out there and push you as hard as you can. And having Khune next to me as well, he's got all the experience. I don't know how many doubles you played. He's played 27 doubles. So you have all that experience coming through as well, and then you have the stats that says it's all for Kaizer Chiefs. So on the day, it's about 90 minutes. And of course, about the 550,000 Kaizer Chiefs supporters be behind us, and we make a good game of it.
We can only hope that both teams do come to the party in that regard. Just quickly tell me, they don't have to hear, is Itu starting?
Oh, he hasn't paid me the fine yet.
So you know what you have to do between now and Saturday. Let's come to you, because Coach has touched on it. You've played this game, you've been there, you've done it before. From derby to derby, does anything change as you build up to face Orlando Pirates?
Good afternoon, everyone, and good afternoon, Coast Nation. Yeah, every derby is different because there's new players in both the teams, there's new signings, and those are the players that need to settle down because they've never played the derby before. So it's a matter of senior players within the squad to help them settle down in the early minutes of the game, so that we can get the positive results out of the game, because we want to claim the bragging rights going into the festive season. So we have to make sure that we come prepared to the game and we give our all, because every derby that we play, it feels like a cup final, and it's a must win. And you know, the fans demand a lot from us as players, and we know what we have to do when we walk onto that park, which is to get the 3 points and claim the bragging rights.
Now, the narrative that has surrounded Kaizer Chiefs since the season started is that of perhaps struggling a bit to get into gear, struggling a bit to, I guess, meet again, as we mentioned earlier, as well, expectation. As team captain, as a senior player in the squad, how would you describe this period the Chiefs has gone through in these 9-10 games in starting the season?
Not a great start, not the start that we wanted, but hopefully last night's game and last night's win will turn things around for us, and we're looking forward to winning more games.
Yeah.
We didn't start that badly. We played very good football the Kaizer Chiefs way, but it was unfortunate that the results were not coming. And of course, I wouldn't point out players. We are a team.
Yep.
We concede as a team, we score goals and celebrate as a team, but we've let ourselves down in some of the games. And I remember the words of our Dr. Kaizer Senior saying to us, there's only one team that beat Kaizer Chiefs in this league, and it's Kaizer Chiefs itself. Because whenever we make mistakes, they lead into our goals. So those are the things that we need to minimize, strive for perfection. And we all know that no one is perfect in life, but we should just avoid making individual errors. And if one of us does, which is football is a game of mistakes, we need to cover each other up, deal with the situation first, and then we can start rectifying after.
Those are the words of Itumeleng Khune. He said 27 derbies you played in. How many have you won? Can you remember?
27 derbies played. I've won 7. I kept 4 clean sheets. Not great stats, but I will improve on them.
Itu with a bit of a disclaimer in that little statement. And I wanted to ask you earlier on, very quickly, Coach, if there was any pressure to win yesterday, having seen Pirates win on Tuesday ahead of Saturday.
Yesterday's game? No, there was no pressure to win yesterday's game, but we wanted to put up a good performance, and I've been in the seat 24 hours. So having the players play like they played yesterday was my only thought. And when you look at the way we played very good football. I thought we did a lot. We could have done better, but we lost a little bit of concentration here and there, which is normal in football. But we need to be more consistent in going forward and really playing the way we want to play, and that's the Kaizer Chiefs way.
Again, one final question. One final question. You've mentioned that particular term a number of times now since you've taken over the seat, the Kaizer Chiefs way. For those who haven't heard you, I'm sure you've been asked this question a number of times. Describe that way for us, please.
It goes back to the day Kaizer opened the club. And when you look back and you look at the Ace and Sulengs, you look at the Dr. Kumalos, you look at the chairman himself, what he developed during those years, that's the Kaizer Chiefs way. That's the cloth that this generation that's on the pitch now is trying to emulate, because that was a winning cloth. So as a coach, I'm taking that, and it will tell you, that's what I've preached since I've taken over. What is the Kaizer Chiefs way? We want to do the Kaizer Chiefs way. And that's playing good football, going forward, scoring many goals, and entertaining the people that support us. Because in the end, we are just massive entertainers. And there's only 11 of them on the pitch that have to entertain almost, I think, 2 million supporters. That's what they have to do.
Okay, there it is. Then look out for the Kaizer Chiefs way. Some final thoughts from the coach ahead of this one in terms of, I guess, giving a message to the Kosi faithful that will be allowed back into the stadium. And as they look to get Kaizer Chiefs over the line, Coach, what do you say to them?
Tonight, we celebrate a man that walks with presidents. The chairman has been honored tonight. So my message to them is, come out on Saturday, support your team as best as you can, and support the players as best as you can, And yes, the two teams are going to go into battle. And if I had God's number, I would call him to ask him what the result would be. But I keep on calling and it goes to voicemail. So both teams, let's put out a show on Saturday for the benefit of our fans. And Kaizer Chiefs fans, come out and support your team as much as you can.
Itu, speak to your fans.
Yeah, I just want to say to our fans, we missed you guys last night, playing in front of an empty stadium. I think it took us back to the COVID days, and it wasn't a nice feeling. It felt like a training session, but we knew that you were with us in spirit, and we managed to get the positive results going into this important match on Saturday. So we urge you guys to come out in numbers, come to the stadium, let us be well behaved and cheer the team up. We really need you and we'll make you proud and put smiles on your faces.
Itumeleng Khune, Kaizer Chiefs goalkeeper, Kaizer Chiefs legend, Kaizer Chiefs captain, whichever of those designations you want to give him to you, Kaizer Chiefs fans, ahead of Saturday's kickoff. Coach, thank you very much for your time as well. These are the people that are in charge of all the joy that Kaizer Chiefs will want to hopefully experience over the weekend.